It's on. So, hello, good evening. We are in Freiburg. Tamburi Mundi says, hello, welcome to Tamburi Monday, another edition here in Freiburg, live from my little studio here. And I'm so excited. We have a guest today, young musicians. Today we dedicate a little bit the focus on the younger generation. So my first guest, or our first guest, is Youssef Laktina, and so he will make a little bit rhythm training with us, share some ideas, and explain a little bit how he's working. And so we can say welcome to Youssef. Hi Youssef, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you, I'm fine, I'm fine. Nice to see you. So where are you at the moment?
Thank you for having me. Sorry.
Where are you at the moment?
I'm at my flat. I'm at my room. Today I came back to Mannheim. I practiced a bit. I prepared something for us today. Yeah.
Yes, okay, so let's see what you prepared. Let's go.
Okay. Cool. So today you can see me and you can hear me good, right?
Perfect.
So today we will talk about something called it's a like rhythmic alphabet. It's from a book called The Language of Drumming by Benny Greb. He's a great drummer, and he wrote it down. What does he mean with a rhythmical alphabet? So in 16th note. So let's say we have 4 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 quarter notes. If we have possibilities in every quarter note to divide it in 16th note to 4 notes. So it will be 1, 2, 3, dividing tekka dimmi 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So every quarter note now has the value of a 4/16 note. So in all together we have 4, 8, 12, 16. So we have a 16 possibility to play this alphabet. We have the possibilities are 16. Even we play the 1 from 4/16 note, or the 2, or the 3, or the 4, or the 1 and the 2, the 1 and the 3, the 1 and the 4, the 2, the 4, the 3, the 4, or the 1, the 2, the 3, the 1, the 2, the 4, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the last is the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, all of them. I know this sounds confusing, but now I will play it more or less. So if we have, this is my foot bell is my metronome now, and we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4. This 1 bar. This is the second. 3, 4, 1, 2. So everyone is 1, 2. Now I play all the possibilities, and I will sing it in the same time. So I will play the 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. So I just played all the possibilities that we would have in a 16th note playing a 4/4 bar. I know it's the thing is why I'm sharing this, because this changed, like literally changed my kind of reading, how to understand how I write and I read notes, my let's say my fill-ins, my playing, it clicked my head and said, okay, so it's literally how everything going written. It's even if it was in 4/4, 5/4, 7/8, 21, 16, I don't know, like it's always the same. It is always the same. A 1/4 note has a 4/16, has a 5 quintuplet, has a 6 sextuplet. It's always the same. It's a very logical. If you check your possibilities in the bar or in the time signature you are in, you would be much more able to variate between playing everything just because of this is how it's sound, or this is how it's written, or playing everything with the feeling of the 1, the 2, the 3. There is a lot of possibility that puts you can put together. So if we play in a what I'm counting in my head is always 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and I think I want to play the 1 the 2, so I play 1 2 1 2, and my head goes 3 4 3 4, or I play, if I want to play the 1 2 3, so I play ta 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 1 2 3 1 2 3, but there is like a motor in my head going all the time, like I'm seeing the micro timing, the micro note, or I'm visualizing it much more than I'm really seeing it. So we can apply this actually to, as I said, it's a big topic, rhythmic alphabet. You can check it. There is a lot of I don't know if I can share my photo right now, but there is like a poster, like a big. I have it here. It's called Rhythmic Alphabet, with everything explained in a cycle method. So it's a very so it's a very nice poster to check. You will get much more an idea about this kind of world, and you can apply this actually to everything, everywhere, on every instrument. You are a bassist. You can play dun 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 dun. Like it is possible to like the patterns are music, no matter which instrument are you practicing this kind of concept on. What you can do as probably a much more let's say we talk now you are in the a middle field of knowledge or of playing. If you are much more advanced, or a little bit, you have the behavior of playing, so probably you can play Malfouf, easy, 3-3-2, sorry. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. It's in a 2/4 beat. So 1 2 1 2, and with the left hand you can play all the possibilities and keep the Malfouf ostinato with your right. 1 1 1 1 2 2. This is the 3 4, the 1 2, the 1 3, 1 4, and so weiter and so on. So it is possible to do so much stuff with the same concept. Just check possibilities, moving on, feeling relaxed, when you move through all the possibility, going back and forth, combining I like one bar of the 2, the 3, the second bar of the 3, the 4. So it will be papa, 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 papa. Could be a nice ostinato, like a ostinato. So it's a huge thing to dive in, actually, to be honest. I don't know how much of a time do I have.
Yes, we still have time, Youssef.
Okay, nice. So I would do the same, like literally the same thing, but I would play a little bit on the frame drum. So this is my small set at home. So I have a stand where I put the frame drum like this. For sure, actually, if I play more or less a solo or something, I will hold it like a lapsa, like this. But for a set, it's much more comfortable to have it here because you can play much more easier. So it is the same thing. We go out now from playing only the rick or like with the fingers, and we go to the set. It's like this is how I do practice. I practiced and I still practicing this. I'm still discovering like the possibilities, like how to move around a kit and how to express like myself much more behind it. I didn't spoke English for a very long time. I will play the same, actually, more or less. I will try to be much more, take it to an easier level. So now, frame drum, we all know frame drum, Tamburi Mundi, like we do know what frame drum is. So let's play without ghost notes, without anything, just very basic possibilities in 4/4. So we sing 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and we have it. We think about it all the time. Da, 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 1 2 3 4, and we play the 1 1 2 3 4. Every time we sing 1, we play a note. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Now we move to the 2, so it will be 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 2. By the way, the 2 and the 4, this kind of odd, you will feel confused in the first, but dig it deep, because this is the sauce. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 3. The upbeat 1 3 1 2 3 4 1. I'm singing. My head is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. The 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 3 4. And now we go. This was a group of 1 accent. So the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 4. This is only 1 accent. Now we go to the group of the 2 accents, which is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1. So we have here, only here, the 2 accent group, we have 6 possibilities. In the first we have 4 possibilities, or the 1 the 2, the 1 the 3, the 1 the 4. This is 3, the 2 the 4. This is true. So now the 3 notes group, it's the 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4 So this is a very interesting question. If we have the first group with one accent, we have 4 possibilities. The second group with 2 accents, we have 6. 6 and 4 is a 10. The third group has a 5 possibilities, is a 15. I said, or we said, or Benny or music say there is a 16 possibility, and now we counted 15. The 16th possibility is the silent, no accent. Not an accent, no 2 accent, no 3 accent, nothing. No 4 accent is no accent. So this is the 16th possibility, and this is what makes it breathe, actually. So putting all this in a small groove will be something like a little bit slower. So So it is always about, okay, how do I'm seeing the beat, or where do I see myself in the beat, and how do I check my possibilities, or all, like, just think about possibilities. Like this is like a method to practice in a concert, or I mean on a stage. Probably you wouldn't want to focus on possibilities that much if the music is written, or if they want you ask from you like a certain kind of groove to play, or a feeling, or something like this kind of stuff. But yeah, it made me think about a much brighter, or it showed me much brighter image about like rhythmic possibilities, and how could you create so much stuff with only this. And I need to practice. Yeah. Do you still there, Murat?
Of course, I'm still here. I'm just looking all the exercises you're doing.
Yeah.
Great, nice.
Thank you.
And maybe someone has any questions, we can just check. And if there are any questions, you can ask. So thank you, Youssef.
Thank you.
Thank you for this approach. And meanwhile, we can talk a little bit. And because yes, you live in Mannheim, and you came from Syria, right? And so when did you come to Germany exactly? I forget.
I like in the ending of 2015, like in September, October, like so.
Okay, 2015. Okay, so 5 years, 6, 7 years,
7 years.
nearly. Yeah. Nice. And I know that you are working in different projects also. Let me say around rhythm, around music, but also around frame drums, of course. But maybe we can start with the project that is not connected directly with frame drums. Do you have some?
Yeah. Uh, Interesting that you asked, because I got a job, or let's say like I got a Stelle, like a position to work in with like a private orchestra, like s- still a newborn project since like 5 years. You know, things in Germany in 5 years is still new.
Yes.
And we are working on it, like it's how to say, it's getting bigger, like we are seeing so much of potential in it every day. And I got the job because I play the frame drums, because I do play a frame drum, and I know how to play rick and frame drum and this kind of music style, let's say. I got into the job, and then with the development of the job, I got to play a frame, like frame drums as instruments, but a lot of different others. Like as like this is why I had to play little, or to start checking what is set. How can I build a sound or a groove from a different sounds around me just by hitting them, you know? So I got to play the maracas. I got to play the snare drum, like in a classical way, more or less. I got to play like the marimbas, glockenspiel. Like I'm not as much as I can play the frame drums, but I got to know the instruments much more. I got asked to do the job. So yeah, this project called Bridges, Musik verbindet. It's based in Frankfurt, and it's based on compositions, or we play music that has been written from people that they play with us. So from the like chamber orchestra members most of the time, actually. And we do play a lot of classical music from around the world, not only European classical, so Arabic classical, Südamerikanisch, America, classical stuff, or like rhythms, kind of feelings. We got to know each other through this kind of music, actually. Yeah, it's a very nice project. As I always say, I'm getting um, I'm not old, but I'm getting old with the project. Like yeah, we're growing together, because when I started, I was like 19 or 20 years, actually, or something like this. You know, like a
Yeah.
21 probably. But yeah,
Yeah. So normally the percussionists, they start with maracas, with shakers, with, I don't know, congas, bongos, whatever, and then later they play or they discover frame drums. So in
yeah,
your way, it's very
that's,
interesting. It's
yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, I got another way around. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I know the Bridges project is a very nice, very beautiful music that you arrange, and and the musicians are getting better and better. I think
Yeah, we like it's interesting because we
the
get to
level
know
is
each other.
very
Yeah,
high. Yeah,
we get to know each other through each other music. You know, like by writing music for each other. Like it's very interesting how to understand from a dude who know what is Arabic music, like some like Walid, he play violin, he write, and then he got a lot of questions, like from the people that they are classical, they study European classical music, and they do not, like in the first time they were having a little bit of difficulties getting like what is this quarter tone, like, you know what I mean, or how can I groove over a maksum or fallahi. They don't get it, or they at first it was very um, it took time for me to understand how to play Richard Strauss, so Zalomi, and it's another way around. You know, it's very interesting how everything get developed. Yeah.
yeah. And you also work with electronics, I think, with electronic beats.
Yeah, I do. I do produce a little bit of music, but still in a process of checking myself in that field. I'm actually much more focused on acoustic playing. Also now, like for 3 months, I start with the Colorage. It's a project in a city here in Ludwigshafen. It's in in the center of the Deutsche Staatsphilharmonie, Rheinland-Pfalz. And I start to play with this project. We are 9 people, and actually it has the more or less the same idea, or a similar idea, that the musician that they play in this project, they have to write the music for ourselves, so we share a lot, like, yeah, probably I think if you do this here, it will be this, that here, like it's always like a
Yeah.
like a gemischter Teller, weißt du?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, and you came to Germany, and after a while you started in the Pop Academy to study world percussion, and I mean general music, not only percussion, but with main instrument percussion. I think you will finish very soon, I think.
I like you are my teacher, so I think
Maybe I ask you.
Yes, I do want to finish university soon. Actually, it's more or less sometimes it clash between a very nice opportunity to work for your future, like because of we're musician connections, having a nice attitude, in like when you got a nice opportunity, if you take it, if you prepare it very well, you were professional, it will open much more doors for your life. And then comes university in other hand, and sometimes they clash. I will finish university. I do not know when.
Yes, I mean you are already working as a professional percussionist. You're right. So it's I think it's very natural to grow inside this musical scene, and so I think you will finish when the right time is coming.
Yes, I do hope so.
Yes, but you will also come to Tamburi Mundi in summer, to the Frame Drum Festival. Yeah, and you have been here already before our pandemic time.
For sure.
Because this year we will have more or less a life situation that is similar like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and with some workshops also. Fortunately, we will start it again, and maybe you will recognize some of the colleagues or some of your friends, because we will invite other percussionists.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm really happy for for Tamburi Mundi this year. Because the 2 years of pandemic, as you said, was like more or less thanks that it was at least online. It had you did something at least, but life is really different. I do remember all nights, and I do remember like a concert. It was like it's a different experience, really.
Yes. And so we have one musician here, by the way, one percussionist. Maybe you know him, maybe you remember him. He's here. Hi, Philipp.
Hallo.
Philipp.
Hi, Youssef. Hi.
Hallo. Alles gut?
How are you doing?
I'm good.
So, yes, Philipp here, you remember for sure, right?
Yeah, for sure. First year for me in Tamburi Mundi, I took a workshop with him, like a frame drum, like a lap style probably, or like a freehand. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yes.
I remember.
Yes, Philipp is a very specialist for freehand, by the way. So he's developed crazy things. Yeah. And so you will see him in summer when you come to Freiburg, Youssef. And do you know, Philipp, he's not only a brilliant frame drummer, he had always also he received a frame drum award some years ago. I don't know when it was. 2018.
18?
18.
I'm not sure.
Something like this. Yeah. And so you will have the chance maybe to jam together or to play. And we,
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, Uli gave something here. He brought something with him.
Brought some envelope. There's something for you.
Notes, probably some notes for
surprise.
opposition.
Let's see what it says.
Thank you so much. First, I was like, okay, why I have a photo?
Oh, what? We could not hear you.
The first second, I was like, why do I have a photo of me that big? Gets from like it just appeared, and then I saw what it's written. Thank you so much.
Yes, Youssef, and so we are every year. You know, we choose somebody who is active in with frame drumming. Let me say in general, no matter which way, which kind of music. It's not about traditional or about I don't know. Also, it's not about who is the best player. So it's really we choose as young people, young musicians who we have the feeling, okay, these guys are engaging themselves for music. You know, they have a passion for frame drums, and so as I said, Philipp was in 2018. So I asked him if he can bring you this message.
Oh, thank you, Philipp, so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And so we will talk later. So we have some ideas, or we can talk what we can do in the especially in the performance. Also, you will have a performance in special situations. Also,
very nice.
And you will receive a award. And yes, we have a drum of maybe you can give. So this is the first from Schlagwerk. We have a small present for the frame drum award, and we have a photo shooting with Ellen.
Aha, yeah.
Yes, so you will. I mean, you already have beautiful photos, and you look so beautiful. So. And then we have a prize. Yes, Uli said I should not tell it.
Oh, Uli, hello, Uli. Uli.
Okay, so this is just the first information for tonight. And I think, so everyone who would like to get in contact with Youssef, you are in Instagram, you have beautiful videos. I see you're posting so many things about your work, your also how you practice. It's so interesting to see how you develop also your things. And so Youssef, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. Thank you.
And so we see you soon again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Philipp.
Ciao, Youssef.
Okay, so in 1 or 2 minutes, we will continue with Philipp Kurzke. I'm very glad that he's here, and he will also give us some ideas, some impulses of his approaches, his way of playing. And I'm really curious because we only talked on the phone. He explained me everything. I said, oh, wow, it sounds interesting. And so we decided spontaneously that he can join our program. So, yes, so in 1 minute, we see you again. Cool. Da bist du. Oh, ich bin da noch.
Okay, so welcome back to Tamburi Mundi live stream. And so I've brought for you some things that I've been working on in my favorite playing position, freehand style. Maybe we can, is it possible, maybe we can tilt the camera a little bit so people can see me drumming?
Can go a little behind, maybe with a chair.
Yeah. So if there's one good thing about the pandemic, it's that you have a lot of time to practice and find new ideas. And so one of the things I do a lot naturally on this in the freehand style is using split hand and split finger techniques. And I've developed some new ideas combining split hand and split finger. So if you're new to freehand style and new to maybe to split hand and split finger techniques, I can give you like very, very short crash course in what it's about. So the split hand technique, it's where you have the idea to. So what you want to do is you want to play very fast pa sounds. So this sound, you want to have it very fast, and you do it in one hand. So you divide your hand into two pieces, two halves, and you go like this. That's basically it. So in case you want to try this out yourself, I can give you a side view. Maybe I think that's helpful to see it from this camera angle. So this is the basic split hand movement. And in freehand style, it's very, very comfortable because you can just rest your arm on your lap and go like this. So you don't even need to lift your arm. It can all happen very relaxed. Okay, so it's just this this motion that you use when you turn a key in the door. Maybe this kind of movement. So one thing to pay attention to is like to find the right movement in the beginning. You can try and hit always the same spot on your drum head. So it's, for me personally, it's about my index and middle finger. Simply switching places. Okay, so the most basic thing that you do with a split hand technique is maybe this roll. So in this you have 4 split hand strokes, and then one doom at the end. And the doom is this doom that you play with your thumb. Okay, so this is one part of what we're going to use, and the other half, I'm sorry, it's all very advanced today. I hope you can. So it's a lot of material, lot of things you need to practice if you want to get into this. So the first thing, the split hand technique. The second thing you need is the split finger technique, and that's basically really the same idea, almost the same movement, except you don't use 2 halves of your hand, but instead you use 2 fingers, your index finger and your ring finger. And you have this same movement again where you find one point on your drum and your fingers just switch position. Okay, so if you don't know split finger technique, what it's mainly used for one very fast rolling technique. So basically, if you have your split finger technique in your right hand, you can do the same thing in left hand. And then you can just, you can kind of put those two movements like this. So you go. Okay, so you basically, each hand individually is just doing this, this simple split finger movement. You just kind of interlock these two. Okay, so right, left, sorry, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4, 4. Okay, so that's to play this role. Okay, today we only need our left hand split finger technique, and basically the main news maybe today is just a 3-stroke movement, 2, 4, 2. That's basically the whole idea. And we're going to use this as a role. And how you can do this is you put sounds in your right hand before and after this. So for example, I can put a ta in front and a ta at the back, and I get this. Some practice, you can get this fairly fast. Okay, so let me show it again slow. What I'm doing is this. So my right index finger, left index finger, left ring finger, left index finger, right index finger. Okay, now maybe you may ask us, what is the why would you do this? I mean, you could simply go right, left, right, left, right. Would be easier, right? Why take this extra effort in the left hand? And the answer to that is because it gives you more flexibility. For example, if you try, let's say, not to put ta at the beginning and at the end, but try the same thing with doom. Now if you go with your standard roll, right, left, right, left, right. You get a lot of moving, because your right hand has to move between the positions for the ta and the do. Okay, and if I use this other rolling technique, and my right hand can stay in the place. See, I don't need this movement. Okay, so you see, it's kind of yeah. Maybe you need to just maybe trust me and practice this. It's opens really some new worlds that you cannot reach with the other rolling techniques. And this is not to say that the other rolling techniques are bad. They are just sometimes one technique works better and sometimes another technique works better. maybe I can show a little bit what we did so far. So I showed you the split hand movement. So you can, thank you, Murat. Very good. So you can, I think it's hopefully self-explanatory how I wrote it. So what you see here is this 2, 3, 2, 3. That means the 2-finger side of your hand. So your index finger and thumb. And 3 means your 3-finger side of your hand. So the other 3 fingers. And so what you see here is this turning motion. 2, 3, 2, 3, doom. 2, 3, 2, 3, doom. So this. Okay, so this one bass, and the other second thing was the split finger technique, where you basically have your second and fourth finger of each hand interlocked, and you can see that here. So generally there is 2 ways you can do this. You can start with your right hand, with your index finger first, or you can start with your ring finger first. That's why you have 2 exercises here. But anyway, we're not using this roll today, but we're going in what I just showed you is this what I call the kind of hidden roll. Okay, because it's very, very tiny movements that that's hard to see. What I showed you was this first exercise from doom to doom, and you can, in general, with any rolls that you practice, you always ideally you want to be able to go from every sound to every other sound. So you want to be able to roll from doom to doom, from doom to pa, from doom to ta, from pa to doom, from pa to pa, from pa to ta, and so on. So that's why there is nine kind of basic exercises here. So maybe let's put that paper away, and I show you a little bit more what's happening here. So we have rolls from doom to doom. Then you can go from doom to pa. And from doom to ta. And then all rolls starting with pa. You can start from pa to doom. From pa to pa. And from pa to ta. And in all those exercises, left hand is doing the same thing all the time. Okay? So all that I'm changing is the accents in the right hand. And so what did we forget? The rolls that start with ta, so you can go from ta to ta. From ta to doom. Or from ta to pa. Okay, so this may seem kind of obvious to you that you can use those different sounds. I like to make separate exercises for this because it just feels different. Sometimes your left hand will feel different depending on what your right hand is doing. So So to put those different sounds at the end of the roll is also kind of makes your left hand more secure. Or that's at least how I feel it. Okay, now that we have this, there's a lot of possibilities what you can do with this. Now we're in the finally we arrive in the what you do with this section, and the most interesting thing I think is to combine this rolling technique with the split hand technique. So remember split hand. This is kind of the essence of split hand, this roll. So we can combine this. For example, we can just put this split finger roll in front of the split hand roll. Let's say with Doom, for example. Okay, now I have a roll from Doom to Doom. It starts with Doom and it ends with Doom. Okay, so if you want to practice these techniques, you can, of course, obviously, you would start with the exercises I showed before, like this, and then you're ready when you can do both. You can do the split finger part and you can do the split hand part. Then you put them together, and I think it's very, very good practice when you do that to take time and kind of look at your hands separately. So when I play this, it feels to me like one unit of, okay, so it's a fixed block, but it's made up of parts that you play in the right hand and parts you play in the left hand, and so what I try is to, for example, when I practice this, to focus only on my right hand. And not care about if my left hand is playing good or correct or whatever or beautiful. I don't care. I just focus on my right hand and make sure everything my right hand does is as relaxed as possible. For example, in that time where left hand is playing the split finger movement, what is my right hand doing? So and it's important to use this time to prepare for the split hand part that your right hand has to play. So it's you kind of have to connect over those gaps. So when your left hand is playing, you actually focus on preparing for the next thing that your right hand has to do. This preparing movement. So, for example, the first Doom that I play, already I play it with the intention of opening up right away. Okay, it's I play this Doom not like this, but I open up right away because I know the split hand part is coming after this. And it's kind of the important part is to kind of get this this relaxed feeling in that you have if you practice only your right hand, to keep it when you add your left hand. Okay, so you don't start thinking right, left, right, but you think from the right part, and you kind of span over the left-handed part. And okay, I'm not sure. I hope you can understand what I mean. Okay, so this is one tip for practice. Okay, so you focus on just one hand, the feeling in just one hand, and obviously if you focus on just your right hand, you also focus on just your left hand. I don't care what my right hand is doing, if it's good or not. I care only about my left hand. And try to have this relaxed. And to have like the good connection. Okay, so this was first exercise from doom to doom. Now next one can go from ta to doom or from pa to doom. Let's do ta to doom. So first thing to know for ta to doom, there is people play ta with in different ways. Okay, so some people play ta with their index finger. Some people use their ring finger, and maybe some people even use their middle finger. And personally, I use both my index and my ring finger. It depends on the situation. But this makes it necessary to practice both options. Okay, so I practice this beginning with my index finger. And beginning with my ring finger. I do this because this way I'm free. When I play and I decide to play this role, it doesn't matter at which finger I arrive to start from for the role. Okay, so it gives me more freedom. It makes me more kind of safe in a bigger variety of situations that can come and cannot kind of become a problem for me when I'm playing. Like, imagine you're improvising with this. Okay, and for me, kind of those two options, they feel really quite different, because your right hand has another what's the word? Schwung. Another. Okay, so your hand is kind of, it's coming from another movement when you start with your index finger, or versus you starting with your ring finger. So for example, if you start with your ring finger, you would prepare for the roll like this. If you start with your index finger, it's kind of it just feels different. So you have to practice all those different options if you are really like taking it very serious. Okay, so we had from doom to doom, we had from ta to doom, and so finally what's missing is from pa to doom. And this again, it just feels different, because for the pa also you have to stick for a short moment, stick to the skin to make sure it's stopped. Okay, so your right hand it's in another kind of flow than if you come from ta or from doom. For example, I feel really that starting from pa is a lot more difficult for me to get in the right kind of relaxation in the right hand. Okay, so generally what I really like to do is to put those little exercises in little rhythms. Okay, so the problem if you kind of go and just loop this roll, if you just loop it, you will your hands will get tired very quickly. So I like to put it in rhythms. So I have kind of some time in between to relax. For example, you could go. Okay, and then you have some time in between to relax your hands. And I really recommend that you create lots of different exercises for all those situations. Yourself come up with your own rhythms, own ideas. So I really like to, when I practice and I find, okay, I found a problem in what I'm doing, I like to create then an exercise that addresses specifically that problem. So that's what I would recommend, that you come up with your own ideas. So what we did now, I wrote it down for you. So it's this now combined movement of the split finger roll and the split hand. Yeah, should be self-explanatory. Now you can go like a little bit further, and let me try to get this. So there's many ways you can go from here. One idea is to combine it with the standard rolls that will give you a little reminder, like the kind of standard rolling technique is just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Very, very good rolling technique, very powerful. You can play very loud and very, it's a very, very good roll. But you cannot do it, you cannot play it very long, okay? It becomes tiring. But it's very loud and very uniform, and there's lots of pros for this roll. Okay, so now we can create something more complex. For example, for a longer roll, you could go you could first connect the split finger roll to the standard roll. left, right, left, right, left, right. And then from there you can go back to split finger. And then add split hand at the end. Okay, and this is just, obviously, it's just one of thousands of possibilities what you could do. There is really, yeah. Okay, but maybe let's stay with this again. If you practice things like this, it's a good idea to practice not this whole very long roll in one piece, but to kind of divide it up in sections. For example, right, it starts with split finger and then standard roll. So for example, you could just practice this section. And then you can take another part of this big roll and practice another section. Remember, we what did we end with? Yeah, we ended with split finger, split hand. Okay, so now we have two little practice rhythms. One is, and the other is. Okay, so, and they only have part of the whole roll in it. So we can, so we don't, you know, the risky thing about such a long roll is that you kind of panic and gets hard in your body. Okay, if you get this strong feeling, okay, then something is wrong. Then you okay. That's when I feel this. When I have this kind of feeling, I try and create a simpler exercise of what I'm practicing, just like I showed you. Okay, I wrote this down for you. Oops. Right, so you can see this here. So we have the two exercises in the top, and then the kind of full long roll in the bottom. And of course, you could kind of you see maybe first exercise practices first half of the roll, and the second exercise practice is the second half of the roll. For example, it would be very good idea if after this, if you still have problems, to create an exercise that takes kind of the middle two sections and combines those, and then one exercise to combine the first and the last section. So you have kind of every transition that is there in the full roll you have in small exercises. Okay, so so this would be the way that you try to get the relaxation that's necessary to yeah. Okay, so maybe so that's basically that's the most part that's what I wanted to show you. When you practice this, practice around with this kind of idea to combine right hand split hand and left hand split finger, there's loads of other things that you can try. For example, this idea of having 3 strokes in my left hand, this kind of basic idea that we started with. You can, of course, you can say, why 3? I can take 4. Or I can even try and get a continuous roll in my left hand. I think this is not the first thing to practice, but if you, yeah, it's just things that come to your mind, ideas that you have naturally when you practice this. Also, the same, of course, with your right hand. You can instead of just using this. You could also have maybe, for example, instead of 5 strokes in your right hand, right? It's 5 strokes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could say, I want just 4. And then you can put your left hand in between. For example, or you can. You see what I mean, okay? So you can be creative. Just find there's lots of things to discover. Like, for example, I really try to get my left hand used to switching between filling up only 2 strokes versus filling up 3 strokes. And it's that's maybe because I've been using a lot those 2 strokes in as a variation technique. Like, let's say if you have Maxum, that's a very typical way to fill up the kind of the gaps in Maxum. It's just 2 strokes. And it's a very different feeling movement than the 3 stroke. So, for example, this is very interesting to practice. I really, yeah. For me, it's really first time I switched back to just 2 strokes. I really couldn't do it anymore because I got used to this 3-stroke movement so much that I kind of lost the feeling for the 2-stroke. And so this the kind of things that you will find when you practice this. Yeah, so I hope this was interesting to you. I know it's very difficult, so this is kind of what I've been spending my last maybe half year, maybe year practicing. So be prepared to that this will take some time. But I think it's a very nice addition for me to my repertoire of techniques. What I can do gives me lots of new possibilities, and I'm still very at the beginning of discovering what's possible with this. Yeah. Okay. I think. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Philipp. Maybe we can use the time a little bit to talk together, because usually we have our frame drum channel. The Tamburi Monday is always. I'm alone here with Malika and Uli, and so that was in we started, in the Corona times, and so it was not possible to invite anyone here to talk also, and also to present other workshops. It was always a guest who came from other parts of the world. So
hopefully now you can have more often. Yes, for real here.
Yes, and especially you are in Freiburg. It's great to have you here or to be here together. So maybe just a little bit about your work, because I know you are teaching a lot, and you are working on many details. So, but beside the teaching, you are also performing, or you're a musician on stage.
Yes.
Yes, and you have different projects. In which direction?
Like generally, mostly in the world music, or so-called world music genre. So I have one klezmer project, which is kind of a connection between music and story. So it's there's a story being told and music, which kind of interlocks. So that's my klezmer project, the Angelis. Then my other projects, actually, right now it's after COVID. It's difficult because some people moved away. Like the singer of one of my bands went to another continent entirely. She left everything, and I've so we've lost some musicians. But okay, we are trying to rebuild, find new people. So at the moment it's kind of more limited to improvised little things, because people are far away. And but some of my projects still work fine, but life is present everywhere.
Probably new projects will come. It's always the chance to because you have time for maybe new things that you didn't imagine. Maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
And because you also recorded CDs, and so you can also go to Philipp's website. I think Uli will write in the chat, and you can listen to his music and order some music if you want. But the connection to the music. So how do you decide which instrument you play? For example, which frame drum, or is it your experience, or you just try out?
You mean if I create a new music, how I decide?
Yes. Because this is a question for some people. Which frame drum I should play?
I really just go by my feeling or some. So the first thing is, like, if you have other musicians who come and propose some music to you, then what I do is first thing is obviously that I listen to it, and then usually I already have something in my mind that just comes up. Oh, this could fit, and then I try it out. Sometimes it's really simply because I really like to pay attention to how my drums are tuned, and sometimes simply what key the piece is in decides which drums I can use. So for example, if you play in, this drum is in D, so I know if I have like a piece that's in, say, in A, this drum makes no sense because it doesn't sound. If you tune it to A, it doesn't work. It's too high or too low or whatever. So there are certain sizes that work for certain keys. But since I kind of, in my world, D seems to be the kind of the most widely used key. So if you think about buying a drum, I recommend you buy one that you can tune to D. So which is either a small one or like this maybe.
I usually call them, I compare them like a bass, tenor and soprano. And so this is for me more a soprano. It's more for the high.
Of course, sometimes you can also like not tune to the, well, usually you tune to the bass key of the to Grundton. Was heißt Grundton? To the bass note of the key. But you could also tune to the fifth, for example. It works sometimes, or sometimes it can work to tune to the third. Okay, but that's kind of more specialized, rare cases.
Sometimes even it's more interesting if it's tuned on the fifth. That's experience, right? And so you, as we mentioned before, I mean, you are teaching, and we have some dates here. So you are teaching in Freiburg mostly, I think.
Yes. So I have a kind of fixed group. It's kind of group lessons. So that's open for everyone. It's called Freiburger Rahmentrommelgruppe. So that translates to Freiburg Frame Drumming Group. And that's every Thursday, and it's open for everyone who's interested. You can just if you're interested, you can just write me an email. You find me via my website, for example, and all my dates are on my website also.
You also teach small percussion, right? In June you have a workshop, on 11th of June.
Kind of my students keep complaining that there is so little frame drumming happening in the summer because in Basel, where I teach, there is big summer holidays where nothing happens, and all the students from there keep complaining. I want to fill this hole. So this year I decided to put some workshops in the summer, and that's one small percussion workshop. So shakers and kashishi, for example, if you know this, and lots of other like rattling and effect instruments, and and that's it. I think it's
11th of June. And another on 25th of June, a freedom workshop for basics. Right. And on August you will start again with the workshops in Basel. 21st of August. It's frame drum and cajon, right?
Yes, okay. They are separate, but in Basel in general, it's kind of a little bit bigger workshop. So it's always in a block of 4 Sundays. So you have kind of you can go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
It's also open for beginners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people can go on your website and
you can find everything via my website and
and also you will teach at Tamburi Mundi this year between 4th and 7th of August. So you will offer a workshop for basic frame drummers. I mean, basic means you should be able to play frame drum.
Yeah.
Right? So the basic.
You can play a little bit, and
then
you can
you will go up to the moon with. And also in the afternoon, you will have a workshop. I think around the split hand.
So if you so for people who are interested in this to learn this kind of in a little bit more detail with more time than here, then I can can offer this.
Yeah, so just go on Tamburi Mundi website, so you will get more information about the workshops of Philipp in summer, and also you will perform also in festival. Also, I think in 2 or 3 weeks we will have the final program of the concerts, and so you can look what is going on here. Philipp, thank you a lot.
Thank you for having me.
And so we may make applause. And we see you in 2 minutes again. See you. Okay. Yes, so it was nice with Philipp. It's always very inspiring. His approach, his ideas in general, also when he's teaching, and his way of systematically working on different patterns or different techniques. And so now we will talk a little bit about our next Tamburi Mundi festival. Wow. It's already, I think, the 17th. Wow, 17, 10 and 7. We started 17 years ago, and so we are happy that we still work on this frame drum event, on this meeting with many beautiful musicians, many friends, many brothers, sisters, and so we are already a big community, a kind of family already. And so this year, so we will offer the first time again, as I said, after 2 years, we reduced more or less the workshops and the classes on online formats. And I mean, with concerts, we continued the last 2 years, but as I said, the workshops especially we had to cancel. So we will restart again this year, and we are really very curious what will happen. So if people will come again to Freiburg, and if they will join our courses and workshops. So yes, we will start on 29th of July, by the way. So end of July, 10 days. It's a tradition. So the last weekend of Tamburi Mundi, of July, we have Tamburi Mundi Festival. So the first weekend, more or less, we will offer online classes because many people asked us to continue with our online workshops. And so we decided to keep this format and to split up in 2 sections. So the first 2 or 3 days we offer online classes. I think we already have confirmation of Zohar. Yes, Uli says yes. Okay, Zohar will offer a workshop 99%. Okay. And Maria Bovin de l'Abbé also. So we have already 2 teachers. Probably we will have some more teachers. And so as you can see, we still not finished the programming of the festival. So we had to start a little bit later. The organization is a little bit chaotic in these days, in these periods of life of the whole situation in the world. But as we said, we give our best to be so flexible. And so we continue with classes here in Freiburg. So as I said, we offer live classes from 4th, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 days. We have classes. We have Glenn this year again, Glenn Velez. Andrea Piccioni will come, Luar, and sorry. Okay, there was one problem, I think. No problem. Okay, and Luar Kotler will come also, and Mehmet Akatay, Berkan Çakıcı, and Emanuela Ladato. Kimia Bani will also join us this year, the Persian DAF player who lives in Berlin. And also Senegalese, oh my God, Senegalese percussionist who is also specialized in frame drums, in the squared frame drums of Senegal, Papsek. And Khairullah Dadabayev will come also from Tajikistan. And Uta Schilling, also she's specialized in the Tajik percussions. Sabine Bunshu, she will offer taketina and also rhythms, voice and drumming. And as you could see, Philipp Kurzke. And probably some other surprise guests. And you can, as I said, you can look on the website of our festival, and we have also concerts beside the festival, workshops. For example, the piano player Marina Baranova will join us again. Muhittin Kemal, brilliant kanun player. Annette Maye, maybe you know her, also clarinet player from Cologne. Wow, yes. And if you want, you can visit our websites. You can already make registrations for the workshops for, as I said, Glenn Velez, Andrea, and also Philipp Kurzke. He will offer a workshop. In the afternoon, we have nice programs with Loire also. And yes, and if you are interested in instruments, so we are just preparing also the space for the instrument makers. You know, in Tamburi Mundi, we have also, beside the workshops, beside classes, we offer instrument makers a space where they can present their instruments, the frame drums, so you can come and try out everything and maybe buy a new instrument, because I think the best is always to try out your instrument, the skin, the jingles, if you can listen to them directly. So also this is just happening now. We are just preparing, and we are in contact with different builders, and so also this is hopefully next week you can find also on our website maybe who can join us this year for the instrument makers showroom. Yes, and if you want to be a member of the Tamburi Mundi Frame Drum Association, because you know we have a Frame Drum Association, you can also support us by joining our association. Also through our website, you can go on the association link, and then you can write us, and if you have specific questions. And what else? Yes, we have a Frame Drum Academy still going on. So we have 4 classes, 1 online class, and the next year in January we will start a new class. So we wanted to wait a little bit with the pandemic situation, so that we have an idea about the situation of traveling, for example, because many people, yes, they said maybe wait a little bit with traveling and with coming to Freiburg. I think in January we can start, and we have a kind of preparation classes. I think in autumn we will offer something. So if you are interested in, just write us. So that will be workshops for the Frame Drum Academy, so you can prepare a little bit, and already you can see what is going on. Also, we will have a Frame Drum Academy online that will continue also next year. And if you are advanced, by the way, I mean, if you are already very good skilled, you can also try to join the workshops that is going on already now. And just let us know, and we can just check out what is your level and what is your your aim, where you want to go, etc. Yes, and if you have anything thing that you want to propose us as artists, or we could invite here for the channel or even for the festival. So we are always open for new ideas, new inspirations, also new offers, so that we can continue with our channel to share and to connect different cultures, different musicians, different frame drummers. So, and that's it for now. So we will have a break of 2 or 3 minutes, and then we will continue with Fabio Köhler. He is also from Freiburg, by the way. So today we have guests, real guests, let me say, that are here in this my small room, my small studio. So we will have a talk about his way of composing or making music in general. And so he will let us know some ideas, some rhythmical ideas, give us some inspirations. And afterwards, we will talk a little bit about his work. Also, by the way, a young musician. So as I said, we dedicated this evening more to the younger musicians because they are, I think, they have new approaches, new ideas, new ways of playing, new inspirations. And so this is also one idea of Tamburi Mundi, to have this exchange between, let me say, more experienced and very experienced, very old musicians, and musicians that are maybe not that old. And so that's, I think that's all for now. So we will see soon.
Okay.
Hey.
Thanks a lot. Hello everyone. So I did a lot of grooves now, all in one. So I want to break them a little now, break them up, and show you a little what I did. In the beginning, I did what we call coco in Brazil, which is like this. And I'm sure you all know a song which is played on this rhythm, which goes like this. Paragatagata, paragatagata, paragatagaragatagata. Paragatagata, paragatagata, paragatagata. Now I'm gonna play the same melody with the rhythm. Paragatagata, paragatagata, paragatagata. Paragatagata, paragatagata, paragatagata. Paragatagata, paragatagata, paragatagata. So it's a very interesting song because if you take the melody out, you can feel the groove. So this song is based on this groove. So when you put the melody, so this is the first thing I did. And out of this, I also did a swing, a jazz kind of feeling, which is like this. And this goes like this because I am putting an accent. I'm putting like a, instead of putting this normal accent, I'm making that swing accent, putting the two on the top of one. Boom, to one, to one, to one, And out of this, I also use the drum rhythm, which is like this. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. So from the swing, I went there. Yeah, and I will play some more now, and let's see what comes out. Maybe I can give you some more explanation on the other stuff I'm going to do now. So this is the classic binary samba. So the major part of samba is a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And like the swing, which is 2 on the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Samba, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. But you also have the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, So you might remember what I did before, which was that melody. We can sing the same melody in samba. But we can also mix both. The binary samba plus the other one, which I call coco, which means coconut in Portuguese. So it goes like this. Okay, so this what I have played is more inside Brazilian tradition, and as many of you may know, pandeiro comes out in this samba tradition, or choro, which is this other type of music, which is samba with classical mixed. But what I played you also, it's funk, which is like more world music, due to pandeiro player called Marcos Suzano, who invented a new way of playing it. which goes like this. Okay, thanks a lot. So we can break this also down. First of all, this is very nice to play pop music. If you take the beat, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. This is the main beat of the groove. I'm doing it on this tempo. So my left hand is subdividing it in this motion. But I can also double this time. So, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta. Two subdivisions. This is super nice to bring more tempo to the music, because when you have this main beat, you can always follow the guitar or whoever's playing harmony, and you can always subdivide on pandeiro with the left hand, as I just show you guys now. And this principle also applies to other grooves, like for instance Baião. Boom, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. So the main beat is boom, 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 boom. This beat that you also may know. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And the left hand, you can double it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I can also break this down. This beat was created by Marcos Susano. He has a very famous recording called Jungle Samba. It's on his solo album. And it's super nice because he's always playing with this concept of 3-3-2. So the very simple way of dividing would be 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2, 1. But Marcos Susano does a doubling. So see the difference. Now Marcos Susano. Normal. And Marcos Susano. Second thing he does is putting the slap. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. With slap. Now let's mix everything. Going fast, going slow, putting slap. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's
Yeah, that's it.
okay.
Thanks a lot.
You. And so I think we can just continue with music and with talking about music and okay, right. So was nice the different styles that you played and with different influences also. Maybe you can talk a little bit. So you are originally from Brazil, right? And but you live now in Freiburg.
Yeah.
So we are happy that you live in Freiburg. And maybe you can let us know a little bit how you started with making music and etc. and coming to Freiburg.
Sure. Well, I'm half German, half Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
So actually I was born here in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and my parents are Brazilians, which their parents are also German, so it's a big coming and going in the family. But when I was 7 years old, we moved from Germany to Brazil. So the major part of my life I spent in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up in Rio de Janeiro. And this is where I came in contact with pandeiro.
Okay.
So my first remembrance of the pandeiro instrument is when I was on a beach party. I saw one guy playing, like they were playing bossa nova and samba. And I saw him playing. For me, it was like a magician, the way he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to this guy and asked him, how do you do the samba? And he taught me this. He said, it's only the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This was the main beat. They call it also straight samba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I learned this when I was 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know this guy. I never met him again. I'm very grateful that he taught me this.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I started like training by myself this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came across a lot of musicians, and I have talked about Marcos Susano. I personally never met him,
Mm-hmm.
but when I was like 18, a colleague of my school, he was a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
He did a course with Marcos Susano,
Mm-hmm.
and he taught me the funk. And Marcos Susano technique is very famous because in samba you start the 1 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 down,
And in Suzanne technique, you start up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a complete different approach for the instrument.
Okay.
So those are really nice moment for me.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then just to finish the long story, but make it short.
No.
When I entered college,
Mm-hmm.
my college was Unirio, it's a federal university, and there's a choro school. Choro is that music type of samba, and they had a lot of teachers where they have a school called Escola de Choro Portátil, where they use the building of the federal university. So we students, I did my bachelor in theater, nothing to do with music. We could attend the courses for free.
Okay.
And this is where I met Jorginho do Pandeiro, which already passed away. But I had one class with him, and I had more with Eduardo Silva, his grandson. So I had a luck. Nowadays I really feel like I'm fortunate. Those days I could not knew the value. But I had classes with Jorginho Pandeiro, his son Celcinho Silva, and Eduardo Silva. And all of them have a different flavor.
Yes. And you of course you played in bands and everything. You learned the different styles also.
Yeah. I mean, the school, after the classes are over, they gather in the university building outside and keep on playing. So you spend the Saturday playing. You have classes in the morning until 5 o'clock. You will not leave the place. And they're amazing musicians, amazing people. Really.
Yeah. And then you came to Germany, or you came to Europe, or?
Okay, actually, first I lived 3 years in India, where I worked for an NGO. And in between, I lived 4 months in Berlin. And there I also met a lot of musicians. I even played for some time darbuka with a oud player. He was from Israel, or Safati. And he taught me some rhythms on darbuka. But I felt like more at home at pandeiro.
Yes, that's
I really enjoy darbuka, but it's somehow not natural for me. I learned some really broken rhythms, that in Brazil we're not so used to do. We do more binary.
Yeah.
And
you played some Arabic rhythms also on pandeiro?
Really?
Did you play? I mean?
No, never.
No, you never tried.
No, never tried.
Okay, you didn't put the Arabic rhythms on the darbuka rhythms on the.
Oh yeah, I never tried. Yeah. Once I tried Samai Takir. No, sometimes I do. 10. Yeah.
Wow.
But it never worked also good. But the 5, sometimes I try like. 3 and 2, things like this.
Yeah.
But I always feel like for the Brazilian music, this continuous flow, because in this sense I'm breaking this flow here.
Yes, you're breaking. Yeah.
Some people they do on the mirror side, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then it's like mirrored.
Yes, exactly.
If you don't break the flow,
Yeah, that's a different feeling.
But maybe you can teach me some.
Well, I can try. I don't know if you understand about what we are talking.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So then you said you came to Berlin, right?
Yeah, I spent 4 months in Berlin, and from Berlin I met Freiburg because of my aunt. She moved here. And then when my work was over in India, I decided to live in Freiburg because of the city.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's nice.
I
It's
really
warm
enjoy
city.
it.
Yes, it's like Brazil a little bit.
Yeah, it's the closest. It's the closest to Brazil for sure.
Yeah. But in Berlin, I know there is a bigger Brazilian scene, right? Because I played there several times, and I know some of these samba groups and different. So how is it compared to Berlin and Freiburg? Is there a community, a samba community?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of Brazilians here. You cannot compare with Berlin because of numbers.
Yeah.
But at the other hand, what I feel as a musician, here's a lot of freshness.
Yeah.
Like I'm now having 2 samba groups, and Freiburg is a city. I mean, from the architecture itself, you meet people.
Yeah.
So I know you today, and tomorrow I meet you by accident.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah. So people stay together. So all the bands I'm having here is from people I have known on the street by accident, and we change the contact and we are together. So
Cool, yeah.
and Berlin is a little like so many people and so it's a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
This is my personal feeling.
Yes. Hey, we can have a look on one video that you send us. It's I think it's the second. So just to have a little flavor of that's. I think that was a concert where many people are dancing.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can explain a little bit where it was. We will see it. Okay, you can. I think you can share it, Phil. No. Okay, yeah. So we saw a concert, or was it a party? I mean, that's really amazing. People are dancing. That was a choreography, or?
Yeah, actually, this choreography was spontaneous.
Yeah.
Oh. And this music is called samba reggae, the type of music, which is typical from Bahia. And this concert was in Freiburg at 9/11, 20 years after the accident.
Yes.
And it was really interesting project because the conga player, he's my capoeira teacher, and he had his capoeira event. A lot of people come to teach capoeira, and we asked the city permission to use the Musik Pavilion in Stadtgarten.
Yeah.
So we had two bands, one forró band and one samba band. This band, which you just saw the video, is called Zambadish.
Zambadish, okay.
Well, if you guys know Badish, we are here in Baden-Württemberg, is a state here of Germany. And samba, as you know, samba is samba, and Badish are the people from the state. So as we are doing samba in the state, we call ourselves Zambadish. That's the joke, exactly. And this band plays a lot of Brazilian music. I mean, every style, no matter it's forró, samba reggae, or samba, it's a mixture of all Brazilian songs. So the video that you saw, the people started dancing typical samba reggae dances, but it was spontaneous. It was not planned at all.
Wow! When I saw this, I was thinking, okay, there is a group of dancers, and they started. Wow! Okay, so and you have you have some, let me say, concerts or events. It's really, it's more. It's not only sitting, and it's a big party, and so this is typical, I think, for such concerts, right?
Yeah.
That the public is joining and you're together. And for me, it would be interesting if you have the feeling there is a difference, or what is the difference between samba parties or concerts here, and if you maybe can compare in your home in Brazil. So is there something we say, yeah, this is, spirit is here like this and Brazil like this?
Well, I can first say from the perspective as a musician, I mean, all the musicians, the flute player, she's from Germany, who stayed 10 years in Brazil. That's why she got in contact with Brazilian music. But all the other musicians, they are like missing Brazil. So as they are so long far away from Brazil, myself, I'm 7 years away from Brazil. The other percussionist is like 10 years away. It's like this missing feeling, which brings more energy to the music. Like we are happy to be able to play that music that we used to here at our home. This is the first aspect from our point of view. But I think from the other side, it's also in Brazil, it's common. It's like it's always there. You have the samba schools, you have samba on the streets, but here it's not always there. So it becomes a little more energetic, or in places where you don't have this type of intensity, this energy, because samba, I mean, if you look at just at BPM, it's super fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the samba from the sounds was super fast BPM, so it has a lot of energy, that music. So when you play it in places where people are not used to play that energetic music, there's also a strong effect. And on this concert itself, we did one thing that is very typical in Brazilian concerts. We unplugged at the end, we were unplugged, and we played in the middle of the audience. So that also brings the vibration of the drums like in between the people.
Yeah.
So I think these aspects maybe bring a special flavor.
Yes.
One can say.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, and you're right. For you, it's part of your hometown, of your part of your whatever you want to say. And so, do you think you will go back? Let me say to Brazil, to stay there, or to move to a different town? Or you have the feeling you settled here in Germany somehow because maybe you're born here, so you come back here, and so you're between these cultures, Brazil and Germany, or you have the feeling, okay, you are here in the right place at the moment. And what do you think?
I like your question. It comes with an answer. I feel like I'm the right place, the right moment. I really don't know about the future, but I feel like right now,
You're right now,
especially going out of Brazil, also made my relationship with pandeiro stronger. You start understanding the value of the Brazilian music outside Brazil. There are many like Brazilian musicians who also they first had recognition outside Brazil. And I think you also understand more your own culture when you're away from it.
Yeah.
So my relation to the pandeiro and also the rhythms I play, which are not samba, I learned because I was away from Brazil. Maybe if I stay there, I will be only playing samba.
Maybe, yes. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
I really don't know if I want to go back there. I'm really happy right now. And I feel okay. I took a piece of Brazil in my heart for sure. And in Germany, a lot of also good things.
Yeah.
In Brazil are not there.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm able to live this lifestyle out here in Germany.
Yes.
Maybe integrating both. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I have the feeling there is a strong connection here that you already built to musicians, to an audience in Freiburg, because I know many people, they know you are inside of this community, I think. And I think it's important that there are some people like you who build this connection to these cultures, and to bring part of this culture, and maybe opposite, you bring maybe something to Brazil. So there is a exchange. So these people, let me say, like you, I think they are not only for the music important. Music is just an expression of something. I think it's also a cultural importance that is maybe now not so obvious, but I think for longer terms, I think it's very important. So we are happy that you are here, because I think Rico, we talked. So Rico is someone who is since I think 40-50 years. He's also percussionist in Freiburg, also inside Brazilian music, and also with Tamburi Mundi, Heiner Kirsch. He's very active, and he told us 3 years ago that there is someone. He's new in Freiburg, and he's a great guy, and you should contact him, and would be a great for Tamburi Mundi. He said yes, but then before we could get in contact, the pandemic, Corona breakout, and so on. But so now it's time. Everything goes out again, and so. And as I said, we are this year the first time you will be in the festival, included also with your I think 2 projects, right? Or 1 project? I don't know. One, yeah, right? But 2 times. But 2 times. 2
exactly.
times the one. Okay, that's right. And maybe we can talk a little bit about your projects.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I first would like to thank also Rico Heinrich, because he was the first musician who received me. We had a coffee at Hauptbahnhof at the train station, and it was really nice. He gave me a lot of contacts. It was like a welcoming. So I want to thank him. I also want to thank you for the invitation. Because Tamburi Mundi, funny thing, when I came to Freiburg, I came to Tamburi Mundi and I was really amazed. I told you on this phone, right? With all the musicians, it was like, whoa. And I came to a workshop and they put me on the main concert hall for free because the workshop was delayed 1 hour and the production staff just said, no, just go in. And I saw like Zorra Fresco, no?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, like big eyes. And funny thing, later on, I found out there's one video of Marco Susano. As I told you, I never met Marco Susano in person. But I mean, indirectly, he's my great teacher. I mean, I think whoever plays pandeiro has on Marco Susano his mind, for sure. Yeah. And there's one video from Tamburi Mundi on YouTube.
Yes.
Where like the grooves are slowed down. And I found out this later on because this video helped me a lot. I mean, the slow down, you can really check out what groove he's doing. And later on I could connect the dots, like this is Tamburi Mundi, the video, and I found out he came here.
Yes, he came here, right? 2008 or I don't know. So yeah.
Amazing. It was for me amazing discovery. Well, this Timbrando is I'm really happy actually as the first concert of the quartet. We are, as you were telling, there's a lot of Brazilian music. We have some bands. There's one friend of us, he make a joke out of us. He's saying we are like 3 people, 5 bands. Because we duplicate the musicians,
Yeah.
Like we all play with everybody. So this band is also one of these bands, we just get and we built up this band thinking on the festival, in the sense of making really like the basic of samba. Like understanding where did the samba come from, because today people know a lot samba through the pandeiro, but samba actually comes from the atabaque, which is a kind of conga. So this is really like the root rhythm of samba. So this quartet is based on the history of samba. So we were thinking more for this concert,
Yeah.
And it's like I play pandeiro in the quartet. Marcelo, my friend, plays tantan, which is like a side drum, which is very important to make the 1 and 2 that I showed you before. 1, 2, 1. And I normally make the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And one guy on the cavaco. Cavaco is like a ukulele. It's a small guitar that is played on samba. It's very rhythmic. For instance, this rhythm sounds like. This is like subdivision of the 16. These cells are very important on the cavaco. So it's really the bridge between the harmony and the rhythm, the cavaco.
Yeah.
And we have a singer, which is very interesting.
Oh,
He's actually an opera singer.
Wow.
But he has some in his blood. He's also recent here to Germany. He came, I think, September. We already have a band with him called Forest Samba, another samba, and we also played in Markthalle. We are waiting to confirm. It seems like 18th of June we're going to play again in Markthalle here in Freiburg.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I will definitely invite you all guys.
Yes, we will come.
So yeah, this is the quartet. It's very, for me, interesting mixture. Because also each one of us is from different place. I mean, Marcelo, the plays from the south, and he learned percussion in football team, cheering team.
Yeah.
And as I told, the opera singer comes from opera background. So it's very nice. Very nice people.
Nice. So your concert will be also streamed, right? Because we will stream all the concerts on our YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
So you can go on our website and you will get the links or the dates of the concert. I think you have on
1st of August.
1st of August, right, at 6 p.m. in Eberg, Freiburg. And as I said, you can, even if you are not in Freiburg, you can stay at home and watch this beautiful music, beautiful concert. Dance at home if you want.
Please.
Well, why not? I'm also doing many times if the neighbors are not at home.
Nice.
And so we can talk a lot about also how you develop your music, but maybe one question to the composition, because you use a lot the singing also when you play, right? And so this is something typical, let me say, for Brazilian way of learning rhythm, learning music, that you use melodies, you sing and accompany yourself, or is it something that you do it more or less for yourself, or when you teach maybe also? So
yeah, both. I mean, Brazil has a very strong African root, right? So it was the biggest slavery in the world, 4 million slaves. So the African influence in the Brazilian music is very strong. And I heard that in samba, we always have some codes, like saying codes. For instance, if you hear this, everybody's gonna stop. I give you an example. We are in a fast samba. Everybody will stop. Pediu para parar, parou means it was asked to stop, we stop. So these are some codes. And I know that from African tradition, you first sing the rhythm. And we do this a lot in samba also. Like zirigidum. Zirigidum. Zirigidum is after we want to do 4 ending the 1. Zirigidum. The dum is the 1. Zirigidum is all before. Zirigidum. Zirigidum. And then you can repeat. Zirigidum, zirigidum. For instance, there's one very famous tradition, maracatu. And well, I'm very careful to talk about maracatu because people say it's one rhythm. There are many rhythms in maracatu. But I can give you one main beat that people use in maracatu where the word maracatu comes. Maracatu, maracatu, shkatum, tum, maracatu, maracatu. Because maracatu is the same as zirigidum. I could also say tum, shkatum, tum, zirigidum, zirigidum, shkatum, tum. So we have some really that codes. Or we have also não para, não para, não para, não para, não para, não. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Não para, não para, não para, não para, não para, não. It means you have 4 times the 3 and 1 times the 4, which makes 16. Não para, não para, não para, não para, não para, não. The 5th time I'm saying 4 times, like 4 syllables, no?
Yeah.
Não para, não.
Yeah.
So this is there in the Brazilian culture. You have a lot.
And the meaning of non para?
Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't stop, don't stop.
Because you're going offbeat, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it seems like, whoa, what is this guy doing? He's going out of the main beat. So you say, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Then you're back to it. I can make an example. Like this is straight samba. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm stable. But before I was, oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this is there in the samba. But for myself, daily I sing the rhythms. Like I also clap them. I mean, there's also this body percussion. Like when I walk, I do this. It helps me a lot. When I just walk, I keep on singing the rhythms.
Yeah.
This for me very fun to do, and even though you're doing the same thing, it gets so natural for you. Like as I told you, when I was 15, I learned this. Until nowadays, I'm learning new ways of doing this. There's so different ways. I can show you a little. You can do like. So I give you like 3 ways of doing. It's the same taka-chikata, but with time you start discovering different ways of doing. And there comes also the style of the pandeirista. Pandeiro is very interesting because the left hand is very loosey. So when you have 10 people around you and each one you give a pandeiro in the hand, immediately they will have their own style.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for me the most fascinating thing. And yourself, you have a lifetime to develop because it's non-ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's similar with some traditions also with the rig, for example, the small tambourine. Also, you have so many, because when you teach, you say you play with this finger, for example, and the other teacher says the opposite, or you have someone who says, no, but I learned this like this. Okay, yes. And that's important, I think. Yeah, it's different approaches. And it's good that people can play like this and the others play like that. Why not? Yeah. And so we can watch one more video. I have the band Fato, video Fato Consumado.
Fato Consumado. Yeah, it's the name of the song from Javan. It's a cover. This is a typical samba you'll hear.
Okay. Let's continue with the typical samba.
Quero ouvir agora essa bumba. Bandeirinho. Tamburi. Vai, flautinha. Oh. Vai baixo.
Yeah, so that was also your band. right?
Zambadish also.
Sambadish, yes.
So you have seen we all change the instrument. We on percussion, we change all the time in this band because we have to offer different grooves. Like for hot tradition, you have more like a big drum and a triangle. So the taka-chikata I do on pandeiro, taka-chikata, we do on triangle, chika-chika-chika-chika-chika. So we three percussionists, we are changing all the time in this band. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's very interesting, and you all have to be able to play the other instruments. So I jumped now from the stage to you because you're also teacher.
Yes.
And I think this year you will not teach at Tamburi Mundi Festival, right? Yes. Okay, I asked Uli. Because this year we have a reduced program. I told before that we are just waking up again from this long sleeping months. So we slowly start. But maybe in the future we can do, we'll see what for workshops or whatever. But you are teaching very active in Freiburg, right? And what exactly do you teach, and do you have your own style of teaching, or something that you say you developed from a specific tradition or from teachers you learned, and now you said, okay, you created your own style of teaching, or maybe even your own sound or whatever? Is there something very specific for Fabio?
Well, actually it's a mixture of a lot of things. The first thing I do, and every student who comes to me, is like a coordination exercise. I can give you one example. You're sitting home, like you have one animal here, it's called a bull, and a rabbit. Then you change. Now you change again. Exactly. So here you need a rabbit.
I need a rabbit. So
and you need a bull. And then you change.
I change.
Slow.
So here is the rabbit, and here is
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of it. There's also the pistol and the rabbit.
Oh my god.
And then you make like this.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So this is no bullet science. You can YouTube this. It's called midbrain techniques.
Yeah.
There are many in YouTube. They help to integrate both parts of the brain. And in percussion, especially pandeiro, you also have to use both hands. No? In percussion, you also have this independency.
Yes.
Piano players, they have it naturally because one hand has to play and the other one has to play another thing. This helps a lot. So this is always what I do to start the lesson. And then I go to body percussion. Because, for instance, like some of you said about taka, chika, if you do summon body percussion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1. Just because of the sound, I'm naturally getting the accent of samba, which is the 4 on the 1. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The 4 is pushing.
Yeah.
So when my students do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, naturally the samba accent is getting through the body. So actually we have a heart which beats, we have a mind to give commando, and the percussion instrument is just like a microphone. It's the extension of our body.
Yeah.
So for me, this way of doing coordination exercise, of doing body percussion, and to dance and to walk helps a lot to express the final product, let's say, on the microphone or the instrument.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the main idea that I have. And that's why, although I play pandeiro, I teach percussion in general. Because pandeiro, actually, Bernardo Aguiar is a pandeirista player. I saw a video on him, very interesting. He says that the pandeiro, like the drums, is assembling of ideas. Because you have this note sound, you have the bass tone, and you have the slap.
Yeah.
So like a drum, you are assembling a lot of ideas, like information. And pandeiro is very complete also. So you can gather all the ideas. If you have, for instance, just a drum like a tabaque we use in Brazil, I sometimes miss this thing.
Jingles, yeah.
Yeah. So although you can learn separately the instruments, I think pandeiro is like a very nice tool, also very practical. You don't have to be a drummer to keep like you can do other rhythms, like I showed you jazz, no? You can play with jazz players on the streets, or you can play funk, like whenever somebody's playing guitar. You don't have to play samba. Not everybody will know how to play samba on the guitar, but jazz for sure. Everybody this typical beat. Everywhere in the world, people can play this. So yeah, this is not the main idea of the class, that people learn from the Brazilian tradition, but also are able to play whatever comes in front of them.
Cool. And you have a group of lesson, like a steady group, or how is, or if someone wants to join your class, for example, they can jump in, or you start from new, or how is it?
I'm giving just private lessons, like only one student. Sometimes two when they come together. But sometimes they're also like, there's a Brazilian score. They also recently called me. I just already gave them one class. So I give to a group. Here at Volkshochschule, I give only one in a semester, a weekend course for samba. There's also like 10 participants. But in general, I always give private lesson because I always announce myself as a pandeiro teacher. And normally, a lot of percussionists end up coming also because they want to know the Brazilian beats. Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so if anyone is interested, or online, do you give online classes? Maybe if someone.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So
I have a website.
I can really will write in the chat. Brilliant. So maybe we can watch one more video. So this is a kind of session, or I was not sure if it was improvised or if it was a complete piece, but so we will put the link in the chat, but we will not watch the whole video because I think it's around 8 minutes. So if someone wants to watch the whole music, you can for sure watch at home, but we will just watch the last section.
Sure.
And yeah. Wow. So maybe you can let us know where this session happened.
Okay, I'm really proud of this band. Really happy to be playing with these musicians because it's actually a jazz standard band, and this was in the basement of my place where I'm living. And well, it's very atypical jazz band. First of all, there's not a drum player but a pandeiro player. That's the first thing. And second, I mean the flute player flute is there in jazz, but it's not so common. And the trumpet player also plays flute.
Yeah.
And the flute player has also a bigger flute, so they keep on exchanging the instruments. Sometimes both of them on the flute.
Okay.
Sometimes on the small and on the big one. And it's really nice because the flute player, Camilo Bornstein, he's living in Frankfurt now, and he's actually he's a composer. Exactly.
Ah, yeah.
He was even contemplated with Mozart Stipendium this year. So and it was very interesting because Camilo I got to know in Germany, although he's from my college in Rio. I was doing stage design and he was doing theater. He even saw my bachelor work my bachelor work was to do a stage design, and it was from the opera Dido and Aeneas, and the Baroque orchestra was from his college, music college.
Wow.
So he himself saw the presentation, and we always have seen each other, but we never talked until I reached Freiburg. I reached Freiburg and I played with Clara, which is an Irish violin player.
Yeah.
And we had a samba Irish band called Gaelic Samba. And she always used to talk about Camilo. And I also played with Vital Soares. And he also played with Camilo. They three had a band, Vital, Clara, and Camilo. And he said, "You are really similar to Camilo." Of course, because I speak the same Portuguese.
Okay, yeah.
And the same way of lifestyle. And then finally he came from Frankfurt. And I was, wait a second, I know your face.
Oh no.
He said, yeah, I also know your face. And then we found out we're from the same college. And since then we're always playing together. We had many bands. Yeah.
Wow,
and this is our latest band.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super happy because I first made a video with the piano player, and then I sent it to Peter, to Camilo, and they all want together, and we also have a contrabass. So on this session, the contrabass was not there, and we're still gonna have a gig.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a really nice project. I'm super happy to be with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you will continue with this project in the future?
For sure.
Yeah. And do you have any other projects or ideas for the future?
For the future?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things are happening.
Lot of things. Yes. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's still one forró band we're still building up. Forró is more from northeast in Brazil. These bands are more focused on samba. So we are also planning to have more, like all these musicians to have a forró band. So it'll be really nice. This would be a plan for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Here in Freiburg, we have a big forró scene. I mean, there's a place in Freiburg called Brunn where people gather to dance.
Okay.
Yeah. And Wednesday they dance forró, so there's a big community here in Freiburg also for forró.
On Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Maybe we go to dance forró also.
Nice.
At least to watch. I don't know if I can dance forró. Yeah, so I think we, as I said, we could talk a lot, but we are already at the end of our program.
Okay.
But maybe we can play something as a final, because usually I never have the chance to make music in Tamburi Monday, because our guests are always somewhere else, and I'm here and they are somewhere in the world. We had so many people from different places, and I was always wondering how can we play, but it's not possible, as all of you know. But I have the chance today that we can make a small session. So I just asked him, I just asked Fabio when we were watching the video, say, hey, maybe we could do a session. So it's really spontaneous. And so which drum I can take?
There's so many.
So
Oh,
yeah, why not?
nice.
So okay. Okay, I can say already thank you for coming, and thank you also, Fabio, for joining Tamburi Monday. And we will have one more Tamburi Monday in June, I think. Yes, Uli says yes. And so this will be the last Tamburi Monday this summer, 27th of June. Thank you. And then we will have a break, and in autumn we will continue. And so if you want to join, as I said, June 27th, or at the Tamburi Mundi Festival, we will have also online offers. And yes, thank you for coming. And if you want, you can listen. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
And we'll start. Okay.
Okay.